welcome back to the
Nine Corners Podcast,
where we talk about
everything related to Jeju.
This is Bena, your host for today, and I'm joined by my friends Kai, Hayan, and Teji. Hi everyone!
Hello. Last time we heard about the pilgrims of the ship Mayflower from Teji.
Yes, thanks to Teji, I was able to study history a little bit.
Well, as we mentioned in the last episode, it's Bena's turn. What are you going to tell us?
Yes, today I'm going to tell you about Navajo Indians. Then, shall we start?
Oh, I didn't know much about the Navajo.
Yeah, I've never heard about them before.
Okay, I'll explain. My mom took my sister and me on a fun trip around the western part of the USA. While we were riding on the bus with our guide, we stopped at the Antelope Canyon. While we were waiting for another guide to help us going in the canyons, it was boiling hot.
I can imagine the weather being very hot and humid.
Yes, although we were in the shade, the dusty hot wind was blowing in our direction. I was melting already.
I hate all weather that makes me sweaty and tired.
The guide came finally and we started off. I had no one to talk to, so I talked to the guide asking what his name and age were. His name was Ben. He was a Navajo Indian from Indian Reservation.
Wow, did he guide you? It's amazing. It must have been a special experience.
Right. What was more surprising was that he was not dressed as an Indian at all. These days, the Indian wear normal clothes like us.
Really? But what is a Navajo Indian? And what's an Indian reservation?
Navajo Indians, along with Sioux and Apache, were tribes that fought without compromise with the whites until the end.
Then what about the Indian reservation? Is that some land or area held by the Indians?
Exactly. These are the homes of Native American tribes.
Wow, I'm so curious about it. Did you learn some Indian words from him?
Yeah, I learned how to say hi in Navajo. It says yate.
Yate.
Haha. Yes, Navajo Indians helped America in World War II when Japan hacked the code that America used.
I think I've heard about it.
One of the soldiers from Navajo Indians speaks Navajo language as a code, and we call him a wind talker.
Wind talker? Why?
Because their words are very difficult to understand and cannot be distinguished from the sound of the wind when we heard from the distance.
I also remember reading an article about it. In World War II, the Navajo Indian language was an important key to win the battle against Japan.
Could you give us some examples?
Well, bomber was bald eagle in English and Jeju in Navajo. And another example of reconnaissance aircraft was the owl, and in Navajo is niesja.
Then the Japanese soldiers wouldn't be able to understand what they were saying.
Yes, a movie called Wind Talker was released in 2002, and it was based on the story.
Are there any interesting things to share?
Yeah, Navajo Indians had a lot of similar things to us. They have Mongolian spots on their bottoms like Koreans, and they piggyback their babies too.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yes, it was a quite good time, and I thanked Ben for giving us such a great tour.
Well, Bena, frankly, I thought it would be a bit boring, but it was really interesting story.
Yes, I was also a little bit worried if I could not understand what you were saying, but it was so informative. Thank you.
You must have had a great time there. Thanks for sharing.
You're welcome. I'm more thankful that you all listened to my story. Well, Kai, I heard that you also went to Becca's historical sites with your family.
Oh, everyone is so interested in history. Can you tell us about it in the next episode, Kai?
Yes, my father is a history buff and he was our guide for this tour. Great. Then see you soon.
Okay, bye. Bye.